Uh, the first student presentation will be from the manga story. The ISS held a manga competition in June, and they had people from both Scuba and OSU compete. Uh, uh, it was about a future where an inclusive society was recognized and what possible challenges could still arise in their seemingly peaceful lives. And today we have with us Miss Adriana from OSU, and she will be coming up to present her story. Let's give her a warm welcome.
So hi everyone, thank you for joining this session. While we get the presentation up, I will just tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Adriana. Thank you for the introduction. I am a fourth year student, a PhD student at the Ohio State University. I am in the Department of Sociology, so I have a little bit of experience with inclusive societies. I also have been previously in Japan. I lived here and studied for 4.5 years here, so I have some experience with that as well. And I'm currently an international student in the US, but I originally come from Serbia. So next, please, if we can. Okay, next, please. Yes. So first, I will start by explaining the setup of my manga story. So the setting. I chose the time to be early winter 2045 because this is close. It's not so distant future, so it could be potentially something that we all recognize. As for the place, I made up a fictional village called Kogami in the north of Japan. It's pretty isolated. Winters are harsh. There's a lot of seniors living there. And as I was thinking about this story, I was wondering which issues I should be focusing on. And here I kind of modeled this after what my grandpa does throughout the day. He's experiencing similar issues, even though he doesn't live in an actual rural area, which means that people in rural areas must have even more difficulties. So some of the issues are going to the store to pick up groceries. Sometimes elderly people just don't feel like going outside. They can't walk. They can't even drive anymore. So this is a big issue. They can't pick up medication. This also means that sometimes because they feel physically unwell, they also skip regular health checkups. And doctors don't always come and do house visits. So this is also a big problem. On top of these physical problems, they also experience some kind of mental health issues, meaning a lot of them feel isolated. Maybe their partners have passed, maybe they're alone, living alone, maybe their families are far away, so they're feeling pretty lonely. And then one last issue that I really wanted to touch upon was the technological knowledge. I've been looking at my grandpa fight with his cell phone forever. So he doesn't know how to do video calls. All he does is use his landline phone. So this means that technology, even though it's useful, it's actually probably very scary for a lot of elderly people. So the solution that I wanted to propose through my manga story was the Smart Aging Society initiative. This is let's say it's an organization that helps elderly people in rural areas by providing them with a multifunctional robot. So I named this robot Kobako because it's kind of like a box. And all of these robots are enmeshed in a local network, which is overseen by a larger network. But all of this is supported by agents. Now, agents are not in the local communities. They are in these centers scattered across Japan. We can go to next. So the next thing I want to talk about more is the technology. So this is Obako. He was modeled after the delivery robots at the Ohio State University campuses. The only thing that's different are a lot of functionalities that I gave it, but also the wheels. We can go to next, yes. So as for the functionalities that it has, I wanted to focus on a mobility. So I gave it a sturdy handle for walking assistance. So if elderly people need some help, they can kind of lean on this robot. It also has a fold-out chair with a belt. So in case they feel a little bit tired or a little bit unwell, they can sit on it so it can transport them places. And then the other thing that it does really well is actually provide them with access to apps through the detachable tablet with preloaded applications. So the applications that are preloaded would be localized. So that means that they would connect them to the local grocer, local doctor, and of course, they would have access to the agent that oversees the network. So through this detachable tablet, they would be able to order groceries because this would be large pictures of items that they currently have in stock. They could also order prescription refills because this is sometimes a problem. And whenever they order something, they can either pay online or they can use a really tiny money compartment at the bottom where they can put cash, because I figured money in cash is a big thing in Japan. So maybe people would like that. So whenever you order something, Kobako uses the GPS navigation system to kind of go to the local grocery store and pick up the items that you ordered. Now, the items are put by a person who works in the store in the storage compartment. Okay. There's also a fold out arm, which helps pick up things if they're on the ground and the elderly people can't bend over. And what did I miss? Tank-like wheels for various terrains. So whenever Kobaku goes somewhere, it can scale pretty much any kind of terrain. So ice, snow, mud, anything that you can think of, it can go over it because it's kind of like a tiny tank. And then the main thing that I kind of put in as a functionality is the face display. So this face display, it can have different faces depending on the current situation. But the main thing about it is that behind that screen, it has a heating element. It also has a thermal sensor, so it can read the temperature, the body temperature of the elderly person. And the camera gives it a video call functionality. So it responds to voice commands like call agent or call family member. So it is very useful. Next to this screen is, oh, just a second. So next to the screen is an SOS button for emergency mode, which is something that the elderly people can press and it will send a signal to the agent and immediately to the local hospital as well. However, the actual robot can read the situation. It can read if the elderly person is in distress. So it can also send this SOS signal by itself. Okay, we can go to next. Okay, now let me introduce you to the characters of the story. So just a second. Okay, so next, please. Yeah. So this is Mariko Takahashi. So Takahashi-san is the main character of this story. She is over 80. I will not tell you her exact age. And she is a little bit slow on her feet, but she's still very lively. And she is a widow, unfortunately. Next character is Kobako, or Kobi-chan, as Takahashi-san calls him. He is the protagonist of this story. So he is the multifunctional robot that I explained just now. The next character is Yui. She is the supporter. So she is the agent who works in the Smart Aging Initiative Center. And then we have the antagonistic elements who are the Snowstorm and the hacker group in tandem. Okay, next, please. Okay. So this is my manga story. I will summarize it very quickly. So in the first act, I introduced the characters and the setting. So in this first act, we can see Takashi-san sitting with Kobi-chan. They're just going about their daily lives. Yui-chan also chimes in. She says hi. And it's kind of like a very peaceful life. But on the edges of all of that, we see a snowstorm slowly rolling in. Next, please. So in the second act, this is where it actually all starts really developing. So first, the snowstorm starts getting a little bit stronger. Then we have Takahashi-san, who's trying to climb up and reach something on a higher shelf, but then she slips and falls. This is the issue that we're facing right now. Her body hurts, she can't move, and as the snowstorm starts getting stronger, she's getting colder and colder. Where is Kobi-chan, you ask? Well, he still hasn't started his patrol mode. He was still charging on his charging pad. So as he starts slowly patrolling throughout the house, he notices Takahashi-san and he immediately goes to her and starts his heating element. He scans her, he sees that she is not feeling well, she's distressed, and he tries to send out an SOS signal. However, this SOS signal goes through only for just a tiny little second because his emergency protocol is hijacked. The snowstorm has made the network vulnerable, and that has made all the robots kind of open to being hijacked or hacked in this case. So Kobe-chan's new protocol, new, let's say, command is to go to a place outside of the village where the hacker group is waiting to kind of steal all the technology. However, Yui realizes that something is wrong because she saw a flicker of that SOS signal. So she is now trying to figure out what's happening. So the third act is where Kobe-chan is actually noticed by Yui on the network. She sends him a command. If your owner is in danger, choose go home or continue with the new route. So Kobe-chan in this case defies his programming. He starts playing the information, so playing the data, to see Takahashi-san distressed on the ground. So in this case, I wanted to give Kobe-chan an emotional value, a soul, so to say. So he chooses to go home and save his owner. He rolls in just the right moment because Takahashi-san is feeling very faint. She's about to lose consciousness. He starts his heating element, sends the SOS signal, and Yui now knows that something is wrong. So after this, the hackers are captured thanks to Yui, and she also manages to send a medical team to Takahashi-san's house. So she is also saved. All the robots are restored from the village. And at the end of the story, I gave Takahashi-san a choice. So the corporation or the Smart Aging Initiative Association, they offer her a new upgraded model of the robot. However, she realizes that Kobe-chan actually defied his programming and he came back to save her. That's why she chooses to stay with him and continue her happy life. Next, please. Okay, so why these story elements? I wanted to cover three things. So emotional involvement, meaning I wanted to show that Kobe-chan is not just a robot. So technology can be humane. It can preserve dignity, it can strengthen bonds, and it can empower seniors. With this, we go to the next element, which is empowering aging. That sometimes we relocate seniors without asking them what they want to do. So instead of doing this, we can give them smart technology, which will make them have an independent and meaningful life in rural areas. However, the third element is the technical vulnerability. So there are downsides to technology, any kind of technology. So not just weather and hackers, but there's also privacy and security issues. Ease of access should not mean easy access to information. It should mean accessibility for elderly. Next, please. So what I tried to do with this story is the following. I wanted to use Kogami Village to show real demographic challenges in Japan. I wanted to show that there's rural depopulation, elderly people are aging alone, and there are care labor shortages. Next, please. I wanted to also create a plausible smart society. So in the future, challenges will definitely still exist, but we have to remember that every system is as ethical as its weakest actor. And then finally, not finally, but I wanted to blend emotional and technological. So I used something that we learned in our classes, the ELIZA effect. I wanted to show how human-machine relationships can be emotional and valuable. Next, please. And finally, I wanted to create multi-layered characters and show that they can have amazing relationships. However, I really had a limited amount of space and I had to focus on some specific roles. So I put in a senior, a helper, and a caregiver. Next, please. So thank you. That was my manga story. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for fascinating presentation. I'm a professional manga creator and I enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you.
And especially the detail of your story is rich and good. Please let me know how did you research your subjects?
That's a very good question. I admit I did very little research. I mostly used what I knew about Japan from my travels around Japan. I did go to a very small rural area to an onsen, admittedly, when I was here. But it seemed to me like technology was not really there. As for the issues, I just tried to remember how my grandfather goes through everyday life and how much help he actually needs with very simple things like shopping for food or getting to the doctor. So I kind of wanted to put all of that together in one story.
Thank you. なんだろう。Research is most important for creation. So your challenge is very good, and so uh, I think you have incredible talent. So, and I have an advice. If um, maybe your story have too many detail and you tried many challenge so to reach many audience. So I think if you なんだろう、選択肢を狭めれば。Yeah. If you choose the a special audience, maybe you make your story better. So
Thank you.
Yeah. Focus.
Thank you. I admit I've been doing a lot of creative writing since I was young. So I've always focused on more novels or short stories that have a lot of detail and cover a lot of layers. So this was a challenge for me because it was really difficult to focus on just one thing. So yeah, I admit you're right. I tend to do that a lot.
I have I made a story sample for you today. So for example, main character is Takahashi-san, 80 years old woman. She lives in a narrow rural village with her husband. This is my story. So her husband works regional government, and so one day one day in winter, her husband goes to Tokyo for his business. So he rent a supporting robot for Takahashi-san, while なんだろう、いない間、while his business trip. So Takahashi-san don't want to rent supporting robot, but her husband left her home without canceling the robot. So someone knocked her house door. So she find a good-looking white-hair guy. Looks like Mats Mikkelsen. This Mats Mikkelsen is a supporting robot for Takahashi-san. This Mats Mikkelsen is very gentle and kind. He makes tea for Takahashi-san, and he clean up Takahashi-san's room, and he helps Takahashi-san's life. And he's very gentle. So sometimes this Mats Mikkelsen walked with Takahashi-san around the village. This Matsumi Kelsen show very good landscape for Takahashi-san. Her husband never have her husband have never showed the good landscape for Takahashi-san. Takahashi-san falling in love this Matsumi Kelsen. So, but her husband came back her home. And she have to, なんだろう、divide 松見ケルセン。so, that day came back, なんだろう、her husband home. So, she cancels, なんだろう、返す、返却する。So she returned Mats Mikkelsen robot to company and saying goodbye. And after saying goodbye, Mats Mikkelsen, she meet her husband again and she picked her husband up her car. So, but she don't have Matsumi Kelsen, so because before this pickup, she's saying goodbye, and Matsumi Kelsen at truck picked this Matsumi Kelsen up, so her car with her husband and go go to her home. So すれ違うって。and いえ、反対側から、こう、the truck with Mats Mikkelsen's robot. So she find the truck of なんだろう supporting robot picking up. So, but her car 離れていく。そうそうそう。そう。ちょっと英語が思いつかないんですけど、別れた車がこう、すれ違うのに気づく車で。で、彼女だけが気づいて。で、こう、すれ違うときにバックミラーにこう、映るんです。去っていくトラックが。で、彼は、高橋さんは、夫を捨てて、車から降りてトラックを降りるか悩む。で、悩んでる間に、車がどんどん離れていく。で、どうしますっていうところで終わるストーリー。very, very confusing story. So I cannot explain the detail of my story because my English is not good. So
I completely understand. Yeah.
So I think please imagine your audience. You will make very good story for your reader. Today, a professional editor come here. So please talk him and please find your special audience for your story. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, it's my turn.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, my name is Tetsuya Mihara. Before to start to comment to advise you, please introduce myself briefly. Yeah. I started to creating manga when I was an undergraduate student with my colleague, kohai. Yeah. And I am completely I cannot completely cannot to draw pictures, draw graphics, of course manga, but my colleague can, and how to say, I help her without drawing manga, without drawing creating pictures. So, but when we we act as a independent manga creator when I was a student, and for 2 or 3 years, and then she became a professional manga creator, and so I also became the professional manga helper. So since then I am working as an independent manga editor or the supporters for the like a manga agent. And then I also go to the graduate school, and I went to graduate school and get a PhD degree in informatics. Especially my research interest is the information, the databases or the data structure of manga to describe how manga express, how manga represent, how manga is handled. And my recent research is focused on the archivings or the digital archivings of manga. So I know aware about the old manga for the historic works. Yeah, and now I'm the assistant professor of the humanities in University of Tsukuba, and I lectured. I'm researching about the relationships of the humanities, especially on the manga and informatics, the information science. Yeah. So in this point, my point of view, I have the how say the I found the three impressive point of your presentation or your talk. Yeah. The first one is the could you show the seventh slide? You point out the third topic is quite impressive for me. You point out the human-machine relationship, emotional and variable, the blend emotional and technological. The reason why I feel so is that this topic is the very, very core theme of manga in 80 years, in 75 years. Since the Astro Boy, Tetsuan Atom. Yeah. Very, very interesting one. This is a case of the, not manga, but animation. Maybe you know Mobile Suit Gundam?
Yes.
Yeah. This animation is maybe the 50 years ago. That it is produced 50 years ago. The first of the first Gundam is completely the weapon, but one of the latest one, how to say that, Gundam area is completely the friend of the pilot. This changement is quite impressive and then the manga and the animation or the Japanese pop culture create and produce this idea to all over the world. Maybe you how to say, you are impressed, you are affected this. I don't know, but this is close related to. Yeah, I think so. This topic is fine to talk about in manga, I think. And the second one is the Kobako. This is a transportation tool. Is it right?
Transportation helper.
Yeah.
All sorts of things. Yes.
Yeah. This is interesting for me. Yeah, because the transportation is a quite physical thing.
Yes.
Yeah, physical thing. So, but you connect the transportation in a physical thing to the IT-centric services. This is how to say the standard or the standard idea of how to resolve our social problem in our technologies. Yeah, this is also the good idea to discuss by Manga. And but before I I present you the third point. I want to express the how to say maintained or the point to you should improve your idea or your story. And this has plenty of this slide or this idea. You have the plenty of the good idea, but the story or the setting or the core point of the story or the core point of the setting, core point of the characters is less related to the inclusive society topics, I think, because your idea includes them, but for example, the case of the story. Do you know the narrative arc or story arc?
Yes.
The peak of narrative arc is less related to the inclusiveness topics, I think. I think.
You might be right. I might have focused too much on the action part.
Yeah. It is better to how to say to connect to the narrative, an attractive point and the inclusive problems. This is the how to say the technique of the manga or story making.
Yes.
Yeah. For example, maybe the Samp-san have showed a great idea about this, cross-related to this. But I also want some advice or some example idea about this. For example, maybe the good point or one of the good interesting point is the snowstorms, emergency of the snowstorms, because the snowstorms are kind of the terrible weather, the extreme weather caused by the environment, the changement. Yeah, this is a problem of the maybe the inclusive society or something. So this should be affected the pinch of the characters more and more, because this is the risk of our not inclusive society to show.
Right.
Yeah. That kind of idea is important to give the impression to readers to need of the discussion of the inclusive society and the attractiveness of the manga or the stories, in the both way. And then maybe I have the short time, so I want to present you the third good point. The third one is not your idea themselves, but what you talk about in this in your seat. You said, in my understanding, your idea is come from the experience to go to the to travel the Japanese in Japan. This okay? Yeah, I know. Sorry. So if the story is about the the journey to Takahashi-san and the Kobako, in a way, do you think this isn't it attractive?
I think so. You're right. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. But maybe every elder person, the private journey is not so easy. If the become the social inclusiveness society, it become easy.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to know about this story. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very sorry to talk much more.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, Adriana, for your presentation.